Hello everyone, Chris Assis here, and today we're going to be working a little bit more on the floor than usual, but this is going to lead us in a very quite common embellishment that you might have seen, especially ladies, you might have seen on the dance floors around from the great followers in the tango world. We're going to first set the ground for any embellishment, and the reason for that is usually the thing that keeps us from doing something spicy with our dance is that we tend to have too much tension in our legs and in our mostly in our legs, in our hips, in our legs, in our knees, that is not necessary, and that we might not even know that we are carrying it until we try to do an embellishment, and it's just so uncomfortable, and it feels that it's on the wrong time, or that it's competing with what our partner is leading. So this first video is about preparing your body to be more adaptable to change. So it's not about the embellishment itself. You'll see the embellishment at the end, but it's more about how to create, how to keep strong and to keep powerful and to stay in control while still releasing unnecessary tension. So that is the focus of today's video, and I encourage you to take as much time as you need to explore more or less the different exercises proposed, and yeah, that will scale up to an embellishment video at the end of these 3-week series. So if you have any questions, if you have any other embellishments that are giving you some trouble, or that you really want to explore and you're not sure how to get into them, send me a message. Send me a little, maybe even a little video of what the embellishment looks like, any other trouble that you might have been having with your tango. I'll be very happy to help you out. So here we go. We're gonna make our way down to the mat and completely relax. So our main focus, as you heard me say in the beginning, is to find relaxation. So bring your arms right over your shoulders and take a moment to find the spot that you can relax the muscle. So the bone manages the alignment, and when you're ready, you bring the legs up and you find a similar position for the legs. So there's going to be a lot of movement, as you will see in the video, and it's a gentle inversion, so you don't have to do any crazy handstands like I usually do to reverse what gravity usually does to our body. So we're usually very, very active on our feet, very strong on our feet, and that creates tension quite often in many spots of our body that just stays there, and we live with it. And sometimes an inversion helps to set things back into place. It's almost like doing a quick format. So if you need to press pause here and do a little bit more of this, please go ahead and do so if this feels good. So find a spot where you can relax the muscle and let the bones align, and feel how the blood is moving away from the feet and hands down towards the floor and towards the center of the body. you're ready, we're slowly going to transition to our next exercise. So take your time, bring the legs in. Take a moment to see how things are feeling. Keep a nice calm breath and start circling the ankles. So knees are staying stable in the position without any tension. Just do not make your circles from the knee. And it's only the ankles circling in one direction, trying to make the circles as big as you can. And then after a couple reps, you change the direction of your circles again, trying to make them nice and big and defined without tensing up. And now we're gonna start circling at the level of our knee. And that might bring some tension in your hips. Try to let go of it. If you start feeling any tingling feeling, any tension, any pain, breathe a little bit deeper. Take a break maybe. Make your circles smaller. Do what you need to do to release any unnecessary tension. This needs to be like playing around with your legs. No great circles, nothing like that. And of course, reverse the direction, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Maybe your legs are just flying around for a couple of reps. That's fine. Just feel how the knees are starting to warm up, and the legs are starting to explore the different options in terms of direction and range of motion. And then we're going to start moving and making circles at the level of our hip. Here, usually what happens is we tense up our abs because we try to get those circles really, really big, but that's not important here. So we don't want, or even worse, we tense up the hip flexors themselves. So we don't want to do that. We want to explore the space inside our hip and notice how much freedom we have in there. And one hip might be different than the other. So pay attention to that as well. And one direction might be different than the other. So it's not about strengthening your core, it's not about strengthening your legs. It's about finding space and finding movement. And if you're ready, bring your hands into a nice tight fist. Place it in between your two knees. Make sure your shoulders are still relaxed. And without losing the connection with our hands, we're going to start moving from the knee level. So now this requires a little bit more precision than what we were doing before. So you will need to engage the muscles a little bit to keep the connection with the hands and keep the circles nice and clear. But I still want to encourage you to pause. If you're noticing that there is tension building up, look for it especially inside the hip or along the calf, but mostly inside the hip. I want to encourage you to take a pause and start over if that happens. Engaging muscle doesn't mean building up tension. Engaging muscle should give you power, should give you energy, should give you definition, not unnecessary tension. So watch out for that. So here, I want you to strengthen the core, find strength and power in the center, and free up the legs. So the body is going to be strong and the legs are going to be light and most importantly, free. Do whatever you want here. Start small, don't go too big. You can place your hands on the floor if you want, or you can keep them off the floor like I was doing before. I'm just showing you the different options. It's not important to try to go really wide or really big or really fast. What's important here is to be able to find movement in your legs while you're keeping strong in the core. Take pauses. Of course, you can place your feet down. You don't have to keep your feet off the floor like I'm doing here. And when you're ready, you find that position again. Strong core and freedom in the legs. And you start creating a little circle from your hip. So you open up the knee and circle around. Open up the knee and circle around. And it might be a little bit challenging. So feel free to put your hands down on the floor if you need to. Strength in the center, in the body, but freedom in the legs. That's what we're looking for. Not big circles, not speed. And take a moment if you feel that you need to. Again, you can put your feet on the floor if you want. Just, take a moment to take a couple of relaxing breaths, then find your position again. And we're going to do the same thing with the arms. Just move your arms any way you like. Oftentimes, because this is leading up to an embellishment, the reason we can't do an embellishment is because we have so much tension in our body that we can't transfer even a thought to the legs. So we're thinking of doing the embellishment, but the tension is like a wall. It blocks everything. So strong core doesn't mean no movement. It just means a strong core. Again, take a moment. Get set, prepare yourselves because we're going to be putting the two together. So we're going to be coming in with the arms and out as we circle the leg. So now as you will see, my body is a little bit moving. So notice the thorax, the chest, right, is going in and out. So there is a gentle pulse that's coming from the breath. You don't have to go as fast as I'm going. You can go slower or you can go faster. I wouldn't recommend going faster, but maybe. But follow the tempo of your breath and make the two work together. As you keep going, you find a pattern that feels good for you. That's what we want, to feel strong and good. And now the same pattern, standing. Start with the extended leg out, open up the knees, circle in. Pretty sure that followers know this embellishment. We're going to be working on it, the embellishment itself, on the next video. But for now, we just want to use it to find freedom in the legs. So again, just the same way we're working on the floor, we want strength in the center, strength in the base, freedom of the free leg. So strength doesn't mean tension. It means awareness. It means yielding towards the floor. It means breathing properly. And it comes with an aligned position that might be different from what I'm using here, but it's an aligned position that brings you in a state of comfort, security, power. You feel empowered in this position, comfortable and secure to move. So that's the position that we want. If you get that position, you will feel the free leg being really free to move. In this view, you will see a little bit more clearly. My upper body is moving. It will move. We will allow it to move. We'll not block it. But we're more interested in the way that it moves. So what you want to notice for the upper body after you get comfortable with the legs is, what does the upper body do to support the movement of our legs? And that is something we're going to need for the next video to make that embellishment smooth, accurate, and super, super spicy.